leadership. Okay, how to be a great leader. This is what we're talking about on Daily G number 3. And the reason being is because I actually got this question from my staff. So a lot of people want to become a leader and they don't know how. They're looking for a path. You know, it's not something that's really taught in traditional school. So I wrote him this response saying, hey, if you want to rise up within the company, if you want to be a great leader in life, this is what I've done over the last, 15 plus years of me being a leader for people. And when I wrote this out, I was like, shit, this is some good information. This is really good for a bunch of my friends and all of you watching, right? Like, I have a lot of people that follow me who are entrepreneurs, business owners, managers of people, or want to be entrepreneurs, business people, or managers of people. So I'm going to tell you the same thing I told him, because I want him to be a great leader within the company. And that was, leadership can be broken down in so many ways, and I'm going to break it down in this way. I don't get into the whole beliefs and mindset part of it, because that's like a whole can of worms. Like, you got to believe. The root of it is you got to believe that you're a good leader. You got to believe that you can be a great leader in order to be a great leader. There's lots of stuff that could be covered in that area. But essentially, leadership is 2 things. That's it. It's 2 things. There's the art of being a good leader, which I think involves the skills and the communication abilities and competencies of being a good leader. And then there's the science of being a good leader, which is essentially the blueprint. Okay, that's how I would break it down. And that's how I think about it. That's how I've learned it. And for the art piece, you can break those down a little bit. So when it comes to the art of being a good leader, it's knowing what to say and how to say it. Because that's how you express being a good leader, through verbal, nonverbal communication, what to say, how to say it. And I'll go into in a sec some ways you can get better at knowing what to say and how to say it. And then the blueprint is now about your action. So, hey, what do you do as a good leader? And how do you do that? Okay, so there's so much stuff to learn out there. And you only have so much time. And so you got to think about, if you're going to read this, watch this, go to this event, talk to this, have a coffee with this person. Hey, what is this person going to help me with, this art or the blueprint? Some of those things, is this going to help me with what to say, how to say it, what to do, how to do it? If not, hey, discard and go find something else, right? Because you got to find filters in life to know who to listen to and what to learn. We can't just be learning everything. There's way too much content out there. So here's what I found really helpful, right? This is how I've done it over the many years, okay? And for those of you who don't know my full background, I started leading people as a coach. So tennis. Like, I would constantly have to coach and manage and lead people of all ages to go from A to B, to be excited, have a good attitude, to show up and to get results. And started with me doing that for a sport that I was good at. And then it got into events. And I built, I was the president of all the social activities at the University of Western. So we planned a record number of events, more events than any leadership group had ever done before in a year, and made money where most of the other groups had lost money. So I was the first group to make money in like a decade doing it, and I did more events than anybody had ever done. And had a team of 25 amazing Purple Spur people. But that's why I think extracurriculars at university are like some of the best things that people can do in terms of learning, because that's where I learned a ton about building a team and managing a team and delegating and believing and trusting in people to get stuff done, because I couldn't do it all. And that's part of leadership, is to empower people and believe in people so that they believe in themselves and they go out and do the work that you want them to do. So I started with that, and then we did so well that we actually were outperforming a company that was trying to put on events, and then they recruited me and said, "Hey, would you like to become a partner in our company because you're the only person who's actually better than this than us." So that's what I did. I joined Premier Productions and got to work with Rita, Derek, and Mark, and they were also very good at leadership and building teams and putting on events and stuff like that. So together, we were the #1 event company in the city. Did that for a little bit. And then, network marketing, I did that. I found myself doing that. I mean, before that, I led the #1 sales team for Diageo for Canada. Had a team of people there. We outperformed every other team across Canada. There's 25 teams, and our team sold more and did more. And then I found myself, doing network marketing, and that was an amazing experience because that's where I really learned how to be a leader, how to communicate, how to sell, how to motivate. Made money, and it was a great experience, even though it didn't end up being what I wanted it to be, but c'est la vie, right? So did that, had 80 people in my organization, I think, at the height of it. Was top 20 in Canada for the company. And then started my fitness company, and that was me, again, leading people for their health goals, and then as well, partnering up with my friend and helping him build Canada's largest mobile fitness franchise. So that was interesting, to build that out. And then the process of building that out led me to building Park Bench. And now, our team size is 70 people now. Okay, we have as a company, doing over $500,000 a month. Okay, and that's over 8 years, or 6 years building that up, and we've had team sizes to go from 5 to 10 to 20 to 30, back down to 10, up to 40, back down to 15, and going through hundreds of people and learning so much. So that's a snippet of my journey, and this is why I think I can share some knowledge with you guys. So here's what I found to be really helpful over the years, being successful as a leader. Is the first thing is knowing what to say. And when it comes to knowing what to say, like you're either motivating, inspiring, and cheering people on as a leader, or you're trying to get someone from A to B. That's essentially the two things that you're trying to do as a leader. And for motivating, inspiring, and cheerleading people, the stuff I found the most effective is just watching and listening to other leaders, other great leaders. That's all I do is watch and listen to other great leaders. And listening to them a little bit differently, because if I listen to them to be motivated, that's different than listening to them to learn how to be motivating. So when you listen to these great leaders and speakers, listen to them differently if you're trying to learn how to be a good leader. And I really try to focus on just a few people that I really want to model, and then I just go deep on all their content. I don't listen to all sorts of people. Like sometimes, like I know, Eric Thomas is a great motivational speaker. Not for me, not my style. I got my people, and you're going to have your people. Like I can't tell you who you're going to resonate with, but you got to find 3 people that you're going to go deep with. Okay, and that's all you gotta do. You just gotta I'm listening to stuff and watching stuff every day, pretty much. Like that's how much I'm feeding with this information. So that's for the motivation, the inspiration part of being a leader. Then there's how to coach someone. And here's what I found really helpful. There's one, listening to other people coach other people. So the best coach in the world for life and business is Tony Robbins. Some people don't like him, but you can't deny he is the best. Coached the most people, the most successful people, and he does it in such a short period of time, especially in his events. And that's what's really important as a leader is how do you take someone from A to B, how do you move that person forward in a very short period of time? And so just watching his interventions, going to his events, listening to all of his talks, which are basically just snippets from his events where he's intervening with someone. Like, this is him coaching someone. So that's how I learned. And then one of my favorite books that I constantly go back to, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. I love this book because it helps me coach myself, which then helps me coach other people. And that's one of the big themes of, like, how do you coach someone? It's not like you can just read a manual. And I think that's inauthentic to, like, read a manual and try to coach someone. The things that I've been able to coach people with is stuff that I've coached myself on. And so I think that's what people need to understand is, like, in order to be a great leader and coach people to go from A to B in their performance in life, you've got to do it yourself. So you just need to consume all sorts of information out there. There's so much about how to improve your health, your energy, your body, your wealth, your finances, your relationships, your communication. Like, you need to figure out what you need to work on. You need to coach yourself. And then all you do as a leader is you really just explain to people, like, here's how I went from A to B, and that process might be helpful for you. That way of thinking might be helpful for you. Just kind of like what I'm doing right now. Like, this is how I did it. And so this is how I think you can do it, is coach yourself, and then you'll be able to coach other people and lead other people. So that's the what to say piece. Then there's the how to say it, which how to say it comes into two parts, okay? Tonality and body language. That's how to say something. So when it comes to tonality, the best books that I've read on tonality that really teach you how to speak differently based on the situation and the goal of that situation is The Way of the Wolf, Jordan Belfort, and Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss. Okay, these are sales, negotiation-oriented books, but anytime you're leading people, you're selling people on a vision, you're selling people on an idea, you're selling people on a way of doing something, or you're actually selling something, a product, or making money. And they really talk about the tonality, different types of tonality that you may bring to a situation, those two books. More so important, though, is, again, like I said earlier, just listening to great speakers, listening to great leaders. So I have my few that I listen to, and I just listen to them over and over and over again. They're like, these are people that I want to model. These are people that I admire, I think are great speakers and great, they have great tonality and pace and body language as they talk, and I want to replicate them. So for me, it's Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Russell Brunson, Simon Sinek, and Tom Ferry. Those are like the people that I listen to over and over and over and over again. I love the way they talk, and I want to have more of them rub off on me. And then what happens is I have my own spin and style to it, as will you. And so you just gotta pick your few people and listen to them over and over and over again, and just keep feeding yourself with that tonality and that body language, and it will come out subconsciously. When you do this, like, this isn't a get leadership quick kind of plan. This is like, I've been doing this for over 15 years. I've been listening to these people. And I just get better and better and better over time. I'm still getting better. I'm still learning. So that's the tonality piece. Body language, this one's a little bit more simpler because, like, all the books are the same. Like, I've tried, on Amazon, you just go body language, and there's like Joe Navarro, and there's another one, I can't remember, with a bunch of people on the cover. I've read both his books, and then I've been to an event where someone talks about body language, and it's all freaking same. So just pick one of these books and go read them and just study it. But here's how you really master this skill, okay? When you're in conversations with people, you just need to be thinking about, hey, what does my body language say to that person? And what does that person's body language say to me? That's it. You just gotta ask those two questions in your conversations when you're with people. What does my body language say to that person? Now that I read the book and I know the science behind it, what does my body language say to those people? What does their body language say to me? Okay, that's the art. To me, all those elements, like, there's obviously a lot more information, but that summarizes, I think, the art of being a good leader. Now for the blueprint, okay? So, when it comes to what to do, there's some books that my mentors have given me that I have just listened and heard, because I ask other business owners and other leaders, hey, how did you learn to become a good leader? Right? How did you learn? What did you read? What did you listen to? Who taught you? And what comes up are these 5 books. These 5 books have come up over and over and over again with so many great leaders and companies. Okay. Number 1, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits and Scaling Up, both by Vern Harnish. Okay. Mastering the Rockefeller Habits and Scaling Up. These are very practical. They're pretty short, very just like, here's how to build an organization and a team and manage and maintain them. When it comes to sales, okay, if you want to learn how to be a good sales leader or a leader of salespeople, right, real estate, you want to be a team leader of real estate agents or a broker owner of real estate agents or a sales team leader with an organization, predictable revenue, okay, and sales acceleration formula. That is the Salesforce and HubSpot sales books. That's how those 2 companies, who are pretty successful, do their whole sales growth and leadership and management. Okay, so those ones, and then the final one is Principles by Ray Dalio. This one is a very dense book written by the #1 wealth manager in the history of the world, the principles for how he manages his company and his people. So those books are awesome. They give you a lot of the blueprint, what to do. And those books actually talk about how to do it. Okay, so that's the blueprint, what to do as a leader, how to do it. Those books give you the what to do, they give you the how to do it. But there's one more piece to the how to do it part, and that is experience. Like, this is why I'm still warming up and getting better as a business owner. That's why I see other people in their 50s and 60s who are still crushing it and growing even faster in their life. Yet they're older. How does that work? Well, it's because the experience they have generated, how to do things, something that you cannot read out of a book. You gotta experience it. You have to put yourself in those situations. Like, I have put myself in situations where I had to lead people. People who are younger than me, the same age as me, older than me. Like, I put myself in those situations. Like, I would be the person who would be like, hey, you know, that person doesn't want that person on their team? Yeah, give them to me. I can coach them. I can lead them. I can make them great. Bring it on. That's what is my mentality all the time. I'm a great leader. Give me the tough people. Give me the challenge. Give me the goal. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it. And I would fuck up a lot of times, you know, like that's part of it is throughout the whole journey of being a leader, you're going to have lots of successes that you're going to learn from. You're going to be like, that worked. I'm going to do that again. And then you're going to have a whole bunch of failures where you're going to be like, that did not work. I am not going to do that again. And that's how you learn how to be a great leader. The how part is put yourself in those experiences, fail a bunch. You'll also succeed a bunch. And year after year after year after year, you're just going to get better. So I gave this information to my team, and I thought, hey, there's so many other people out there who would probably want this information, how to be a good leader. So I hope this helps. This is what's on my mind today. Daily G number 3, out.